We're going to go over session functions. Now we know that we can use the $_session to actually set the array for different variables that we're going to use. And we know about session start. Session start always needs to be at the top of any page that wants to use any of the session information. So consider it like the requirement that any page really needs. So it's like if you don't have this license, or you don't bring your driver's license with you, well, you can get a ticket. Well, you have to bring your driver's license, and if you want to use the session, you have to have session start at the top. I have headers here, but then session starts the next thing I use, and then I have include files as well if I need to after that. So this is really something that you want to take into consideration. And then you can use the variables. But session functions, we have all the different session pages open here from the session state folder. Anything that deals with the session is open here, just to give you a good review. Session start again, and then if you want to use session register, you can. This is exactly the same as using the super global version where we're dealing with the underscored session. The same way, except we're using the array way of doing things. And you can see here we have to register things here first, and then we can use the variable like any other variable, and that's why I have everything in capitals. Important to do that. So this is another way you can use it. It has very similar functionality. You can look it up and see the real differences. Then you can check to see if it is registered a variable, just like any other variable. Session is registered, and that's like using the isSet. And then you can use unregister, which is like unset. That's the only difference there. And then we're just looping through just like we do with the normal session, and we use unset here, and you can just initialize things or set them up as you need to, as you're used to. Like you're using this session with this for loop, for example, with a key value pair, as we've seen throughout the training. It's a great way to actually be able to use things that way. And then there's the isSet. So you can see that they're the same as session is registered and session unregister. And note that we pass in the actual name here, not the $ here when we unregister. So it's similar to this function at the top when you register. And then is registered uses the $ notation.